Picture this. You've been walking every single morning for 2 years. Rain, shine, cold, humid, you don't miss a day. You've got your route, your rhythm, and by every measure you can think of, you are doing the right thing for your health. And then one afternoon, you reach down to pick something up off the kitchen floor and your knee buckles. Or you step off a curb you've crossed 100 times and your ankle just doesn't react fast enough to catch you. How does that happen to someone who walks 5 miles every single day? Most people assume it's just age, that the body breaks down and there's not much you can do about it. But what if the real answer is that the exercise you've been told is enough was never actually protecting the parts of your body that matter most after 60? That's exactly what we're unpacking today. 3 exercises, the science behind why each one works, and how to do every single one safely. Starting today. There's a woman, let's call her Margaret. 67 years old, retired school teacher, genuinely active. She walks 4 miles every morning before breakfast, without fail. Her doctor is happy. Her blood pressure is good. By every standard she's been given, she's doing great. But nobody told Margaret that the muscles keeping her upright on an uneven sidewalk are completely different from the ones her morning walk is training. Nobody explained that the reflex system that should fire in a fraction of a second when her foot catches a step, that system gets quiet when you stop challenging it. And a flat, predictable walking route doesn't challenge it at all. So one evening, carrying groceries up her front steps, Margaret's foot catches the edge of the top stair. In a split second, her body needs to stabilize, react, and catch itself, and it can't. Not fast enough. Margaret's story isn't rare. It's happening every day to people who genuinely believe they're staying active enough. And the gap between I exercise and my body is actually protected. That's exactly what these 3 exercises close. Let's get into it. Exercise 1, the squat to chair. The first exercise is the squat to chair, also called the assisted sit to stand in clinical settings, and it is the most functionally important movement you can train after 60. Before your first rep, here's what you need to understand. Your muscles contain 2 types of fibers. Slow twitch fibers handle endurance, steady, sustained effort. They're what powers your morning walk. But fast twitch fibers are your emergency response system. They fire when you need to catch yourself mid-trip, push up off the floor, or react to something unexpected. After 60, fast twitch fibers start disappearing at an accelerating rate. Scientists call this sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, and walking does almost nothing to stop it. This exercise does. When you lower yourself slowly and deliberately into a seat, your brain is forced to recruit those fast twitch fibers to control the descent. Physical therapists call this eccentric loading, the muscle lengthening under tension, working against gravity. It's the exact same neurological demand as stepping down a staircase or lowering yourself to the ground. And the longevity data behind it is striking. Leg power is one of the strongest independent predictors of how long people live and how independently they function into their 80s and 90s. Here's the form. Stand directly in front of a sturdy chair, feet shoulder width apart. Arms reach forward at shoulder height for counterbalance. Push your hips back slightly. This is a hinge, not a collapse. And lower yourself for a slow count of 3. Controlled, deliberate. Do not drop into the seat. Pause briefly, then drive through your heels to stand back up. 3 sets of 10 reps, 60 seconds rest between sets. The slowness of the descent is the entire point. Do not rush it. Exercise 2, the single leg Romanian deadlift. The second exercise is the single legs Romanian deadlift. And this is the one most people underestimate until the moment they actually try it. Here's the science that makes it essential. Your body has an internal GPS system called proprioception, a neurological network that tells your brain in real time exactly where every part of your body is in space, where your foot is relative to the ground, whether your ankle is rolling before you consciously feel it. When this system is sharp, your body self-corrects automatically. When it dulls, and it does dull with age and with repetitive, predictable movement, your reaction time drops and your stability goes with it. Here's what nobody talks about. Walking on flat pavement every day actually contributes to that decline. Flat, predictable surfaces put your GPS on autopilot. You stop challenging it, and like any system that isn't challenged, it quietly weakens. This exercise wakes it back up. Stand next to a wall or sturdy surface for support. Shift your weight onto one foot. Hinge forward at the hip. Back flat, standing legs slightly soft at the knee. while reaching your hand toward the floor and lifting the opposite leg behind you. You're creating one long diagonal line from your raised heel to the top of your head. Hold for a breath, then return to standing. What's happening in your standing ankle during that hold is everything. The sensors there are firing constantly, sending real-time positional data to your brain and demanding micro-corrections from your stabilizing muscles. Physical therapists call this joint centration, keeping the ball of your hip joint properly seated in its socket. And it's one of the key factors in slowing arthritis progression and avoiding the hip surgeries that sideline people for months. 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps per leg. Move slowly. The instability you feel isn't a sign you're doing it wrong. It's confirmation that it's working. Exercise 3, the incline push-up. The third exercise is the incline push-up, performed against a wall at a moderate angle. Most people don't connect upper body strength to longevity. The research does. Pushing strength and upper body muscle mass are consistently linked to cardiovascular health, respiratory function, and overall mortality risk in older adults. Your chest, shoulders, and triceps support your posture, your breathing mechanics, and your ability to push yourself up from any surface. That last one matters more than people realize until the moment it does. And here's why the incline version is the smarter choice. Standard floor push-ups require significant wrist extension under load that compresses the small bones and tendons in the wrist over time. The fully horizontal shoulder position also creates impingement risk in the joint, especially with any pre-existing rotator cuff wear. The incline push-up removes both of those problems by changing the angle, reducing wrist load, and putting the shoulder in a safer, more centrated position. You're still fighting sarcopenia in the upper body because it hits there just as hard as the lower body, but without the joint cost. Here's the form. Stand facing a wall, hands flat against it, at shoulder height, slightly wider than shoulder width, body in one straight line from head to heel. Step your feet back to create a comfortable diagonal angle. Lower your chest toward the wall for a slow count of 3, then press back to the start. The further your feet are from the wall, the more load you're placing through your upper body. That's your progression right there. 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps, 60 seconds rest. A slow, full-range descent every single time. Quality over quantity always. Let's come back to Margaret. 4 months after her fall on those front steps, she started this exact protocol, 3 times a week, in her living room, 20 to 30 minutes. And over those months, something shifted. Not just in her strength, but in the way her body responded to the world around her. She started catching herself on uneven ground before she consciously registered the slip. She stopped gripping handrails out of fear and started using them out of choice. She told her physical therapist that for the first time in years, she felt like her body was actually with her, not something she was carefully managing around. That is health span, not just adding years. Staying fully capable inside those years. In your own home, on your own terms, doing the things that make life worth having. Your protocol is 3 days a week. Squat to chair, single leg Romanian deadlift, incline push-up, 3 sets of each. Consistency over months is where the real transformation lives, not in any single session. Drop your age in the comments and tell me which of these 3 felt the hardest on your first attempt. That tells me exactly who is doing this work and what to focus on next. I'll see you in the next one.